now he's made a speech actually in Limpopo. We're going to take a listen to that. And I want us to listen to what he says. He's going to talk about, his speech on this time when I am analyzing it, or when I am looking and listening to it, because I was listening time and time and again. It was all about loyalty. It was all about, being disciplined. Don't do things that are going to jeopardize the party. You need to protect the party. You need to protect our position. You need to protect our constitution. You need to all those type of things. Now, when it comes to Malema, when it comes to speeches, he's good actually. And his speeches usually they are emotional speeches. He speaks from, I don't know, but usually, I think sometimes, in most cases, he speaks from the heart, you know. And anyway, let's take a listen to what he actually said. Which I don't know where we have picked it, but wherever we have picked it, that's where we have picked it. Okay, let's take a listen to Mr. Malema CIC. This was in the Popo Provincial Assembly. He was addressing the delegates. Let's take a listen.
You are the shield that will protect the integrity of the EFF and defend the people's movement from infiltration. It is you who must tell us of the misuse of organizational resources to pursue a selfish, narrow, and factional interest. It is you who must guard against quarantine of delegates in places which are not approved by the EFF, and the use of transport that does not belong to the EFF to transport you as delegates. Fighters, you must not allow the power that you hold on behalf of the people to be purchased by individuals who are seeking election or who are promoting anarchy in the National People's Assembly. Your primary responsibility is that you must maintain the discipline of the movement. Delegates, we take this opportunity to remind you that the following will constitute a wrongful lobbying practices: raising and using funds and other resources to campaign for elections, distributing money to EFF members and structures as part of a campaign for leadership election, production of t-shirts, posters, and other paraphernalia to promote a particular list of candidates, promising positions or other incentives or threatening to withhold such as a means of gaining support, using the media to promote a particular list of candidates and to spread malicious rumors, falsehoods, or allegations against those with whom you disagree, leaking confidential information to the media, secret interaction with journalists with the intention to get them to write stories on internal organizational issues and communicating internal decisions, or processes to the media without due authorization. Negative campaigning which relate to the attacks of the integrity of other comrades, both within the structures of the movement and in other forums. Suppressing honest and legitimate debate about the caliber of candidate in formal meetings of the movement. Allowing structures or individuals to condone violation of constitutional provisions and or regulations and or failing to report such violations when they occur. Using the offices, resources, and staff of the EFF or any state institution or company as a machinery to promote a particular list of candidates. Using violence, intimidation, threats to coerce and force those who hold a different view. Setting up structures outside organization to promote or lobby for a particular candidate. Convening meetings to discuss leadership issues under the false pretext that they are organized constitutional structures. Production and distribution of documents and pamphlets not approved by structures of the organization will not be allowed. You cannot use social media such as Facebook, WhatsApp and WhatsApp groups or Twitter to negatively attack others. EFF members nominated for leadership positions in the CCT must actively and vehemently discourage anyone from using their names to campaign for leadership position. If you keep quiet when your name is used to divide and undermine the integrity of our organization, your name shall be disqualified from contesting for any position in the organization. When people do wrong things in your name, you must be able to stand up and say, not in my name. No EFF from the CCT or PCT is permitted to create the perception that their lobbying is a decision of the upper structures. Structures and members of organization have a right to raise their views. No one must come and impose a list and say democratic centralism says this is what we must do. Now is the time for branches to speak and not the upper structures. Lobbying shall stop once the process of electing the new CCT has been concluded at the Third National People's Assembly. Once the new CCT is elected, it becomes the duty of all EFF members to unite and rally behind the newly elected leadership, regardless of the preference the delegates had before the elections. We urge you to remain loyal only to the National People's Assembly guidelines, the Constitution of the EFF, the Code of Revolutionary Discipline, and the EFF Founding Manifesto. Do not be loyal to the Code of Conduct and Constitution of the faction, because you will have to choose between the Constitution of the faction and the Constitution of the EFF. And the EFF Constitution will always win over individuals. If anyone tries to make you conduct yourself outside of these revolutionary documents, then it is your revolutionary responsibility to report such individuals. A delegate of the EFF is not silent in the face of corruption. A delegate of the EFF does not look away when they sense the movement is about to be